Paper's getting so wrinkly.
I know.
And sad and old. Alright, there we go.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, it looks like it.
Yes, we're recording.
No.
Oh.
We are recording. I didn't know if that was on.
Yes.
Hi! How are y'all doing today? Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow. Are you having issues?
And my cables are twisted, and I can fix that.
Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
VSC edition. The most dangerous show of the week.
We're about to say something else. I know what you're about to say. This should be irregular for y'all at this point. We are a little bit of a hot mess.
Just a little bit.
Just because. No, I don't want to subscribe to the newsletter. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and probably going to be nice today, but maybe some rain, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. And rain because we're in Transylvania County, so, it's a thing.
It's a thing. I saw this thing, and I might have sent it to you, but you already knew all about it, like how they figure out the percentage of rain for an area, and couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now. But it was kind of cool that it's like a big area, and there's so much percentage of rain up there, but then there's the whole area, so the percentage might seem smaller, but depending on where you are in that big geographical area, it will feel a lot bigger. Anyway, that's us all the time. All the time.
All the time.
So, I'm looking up, okay, I'm prepping my computer over here because the yarn we're going to talk about today, some of the colors are discontinued, and there's it's this weird thing with Knitting Fever. When I'm in the ordering side, I can only see what's available. I can't see the old colors. So to double check, I go out of the back end of my side to the public side. And the public side will show what's current and what's been discontinued in gray at the bottom. It's very weird. Anyway, to double check myself. Oh, I'm like seeing all these other yarns we don't have yet, but we're not bringing them in right now. Squirrel. So.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Okay, so, anyway, we've got some refills on old yarns in, or at least things we were desperately out of. And I thought about putting one yarn on sale today, and then I'm like, but it's warm out, and I don't want to do a warm fuzzy yarn today. If you want a warm fuzzy yarn, let us know. We'll put it in the cycle for another time. It's the weirdest thing I find. It's like, we're heading into the spring and summery months, so yay, cottons. But people knit with all different fibers all the time. It's not like cottons, or you don't knit with cotton in the winter. Because some people live in warm climates, and some people are getting ready for spring. So it's almost impossible.
Well,
so
and
like,
if you're knitting a couple seasons ahead, people could be knitting with super bulky in the middle of summer.
Right? Anyway, so when we put stuff on sale on Wednesdays, it is until we film the next Wednesday, or sometimes it's a couple Wednesdays down the road when stuff happens in our lives. It will go into the product of the week category in the online shop, and you will save 15% if you use the code product of the week with spaces between the words. It's the only one we have that the words have spaces between of all the codes we come up with, just 'cause that's how it worked out. And a precedent has been established. So, but moving it into that category doesn't mean it's an automatic discount. You still have to put in the code, because that is the best way our online shop works.
It was a crazy day trying to figure out that code, because you wanted yarn of the week and notion of the week.
That's what we used to do.
You could only put one code in.
Only one code, and so it's product of the week. Singular. Spaces. I believe if you go to that category, if you try to find the product of the week by going to the category, it will have the instructions there. So, contact us if you have questions. So, hopefully by the time that this video is published, I will have everything fixed in the back end for you to buy this lovely yarn. So, these we only have one of on the shelves. These colors. And
those are so pretty together.
Some of them we might be able to get more, and some of them we can't. So, that's why I have my computer pulled up.
I'm not going to bogart them. I could.
If they are still there at the end of the week, it was meant to be.
true. I'll have forgotten about them by then.
Also true. Okay, so what we are putting on sale this week is Jody Long Coastline. Here's one of the new colors. Like, old color that I'm wearing, new color. They're a little different. It's a yummy, yummy yarn. It's like a mid-weight summery yarn. So instead of being a thin summery yarn, it's a little bit on the heavier side. But it's all these plant fibers done in such a way that, like, I will show you my cardigan once we go through all the colors and everything. And it's just a really funky yarn that I think is really fun and has awesome stitch definition.
Jody Long classifies it as a luxurious Italian cotton and linen blend. Ooh.
And here, yes, this medium weight yarn is a luxurious cotton and linen blend. I'm looking at the description online. Spun in Italy. The distressed colors, a result of the ways the fiber takes the dyes at different rates, add extra depth to the finished fabric. The marled effect evokes a sun-dappled day at the beach, hence the name Coastline. VSC it enough?
Yeah.
Well, it's a QVC version, right?
Well,
I mean, go through your. Well, what were you going to say?
It helps to have the description. You know, now we're going to have to include
Now I'm going to have to look it up every time.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not that fun. Anyway, so go ahead, Liz.
It is 33% cotton, 28% viscose, 27% nylon, and 12% linen. You get 218 yards per 100 grams. It is machine washable. Don't check it in the dryer.
The way that the outer shell of this, we'll go over construction a little bit in a minute, is like, I can tell from knitting with this, yeah, you don't want to rough it up too much. It is a cotton blend. But try to be a little bit careful with it.
The linen is already really soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever I hear viscose, my brain usually goes to some form of bamboo. I don't think it's always like
there's lots
guaranteed,
of forms of viscose.
But sometimes that's what my brain goes to. I can't guarantee this is bamboo viscose.
They are recommending a US 9 needle or a US eye hook. So
which is the same girth. Yeah.
Same thing. Trying to look, and I've got all the
Okay. What I'll say, like, when I look on Knitting Fever's website, so they're calling this a number 4 worsted. We have it in the worsted weight section, but if you notice, Liz just said recommending a 9 needle or a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is a little bigger than you usually hear people talk about using with a worsted weight yarn. Just a little.
It's mine.
Except for Liz. So usually a worsted weight yarn is on an 8. This is on a 9, pushing it a little bigger. I will say this yarn is really happy on a 9 or maybe even a little bigger. Like, when I looked for a pattern to make with this, I looked for the 9 needle, but I looked in the chunky section of patterns like this. So I'm going to jump around a little bit here. This is my Fading Diamonds Cardigan. And I did it with 3/4 sleeves instead of, like, almost full sleeves. Fading Diamonds Cardigan. You see the diamond? It's funny because it fades as you go up. Like, there's more diamond structure to the back. Doop. And I can go like, ba-doo. So, looks like I'm flashing everyone my bum. But this was written for, like, a chunky wool. And it's got, like, technically, like, I tend to wear it a little further forward than the raglan seams fall. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tugging the back tail in. It's like duster length if you look at that. And the stitch definition is awesome. But I looked for a pattern that was more written for a thicker yarn than a worsted. And I'm really happy with it because it is an awesome cardigan for days like today where it's not super cold, but it may be a little breezy. You know, and I didn't put any buttons on it. I forget. It might not actually come with buttons, like buttonholes.
I don't think it did.
But I can use, like, a shawl pin to keep it shut if I want to. But I wear my cardigans open. It's all good. The color I'm wearing is no longer available. Let me see if I can find it on the public side. It was called Seaweed. And it is a lovely, like, soft green. The new color we brought in that is as close as we're going to get to it is called Pier. This is number 27 Pier. And it's a little more yellow. It's a little more grello than what I'm wearing. And I think it's absolutely lovely. It almost strikes me more like seaweed, but it's got some stronger yellow tones in it. It's warmer.
It's almost really like a pretty greeny yellow moss growing on the side of the pier.
Like the lichen or but the seaweed, not the rocks in Scotland, more the, Mediterranean type stuff. It's really, really pretty. I'm glad we have it in. We have a decent amount of stock. We don't have like a full 10 skeins of it, but we've got some decent stock of this right now. So we're bouncing around. What are we retailing this for before we go to other colors?
We are retailing it for $17.95.
15% off for this week only. This cardigan, I did lose slight track of how many skeins I used. I want to say it was 6 or 7. It might have only been 6.
I think it was about 6.
Yeah, like I thought it was 7, and then my inventory was off. And, this color is totally gone. I did not do full sleeves. I think when I've had people shop for it, we've had people make it out of this color, which we'll talk about in a second. We just recently had someone buy this color, so we only have 1 skein of it left. Some people who are making the same size as me have needed 7 if they wanted either more length or longer sleeves, that kind of thing. I think by the time I got to the sleeves, this is a top-down raglan seam. I took what was left without having to crack into a new ball and just made the sleeves as long as they were going to be. I think I had like 1 ball for each sleeve. And where it ended, it ended. So, so what we're going to do is go through colors, and I'm going to check and see if any of the ones we have less of right now. I can't promise we're going to get more in before the sale ends, because it's only a week. But there are a couple others here I know we're fairly low on, and some of them it might be because we can't get them back in, and some of them it might be that we will get them back in eventually. So, we've done pier. Why don't we go through some of the new colors? Like, that's the other really new color.
Yep. This one is Snorkel. And
that one's pretty.
So, like, when you said that one was a grello, it's because there's a green spot and, like, a yellow spot.
Oh, and, yeah, and that's the different fibers. Like, there's patches of the different fibers in this outer tube. Like, I was gonna, if I can show you this, I'm trying to hold it against something where you might be able to see, like, this white core with the tube around it, so there's stuffing almost inside. But I'll tell you, it's rough. I've tried to break this yarn with my hands, and it's actually the core that's harder to break than the outside. So, but like before Liz shows you that color, you can see the kind of marled effect. So,
the Snorkel is a green teal and a blue teal.
Yeah,
alternating. Like,
it's super, super cute.
Yeah.
And to go back to this one, there's more of a light green and a yellow green. If we're gonna say there's like two distinct colors in this one, but from a distance, like this had 2 kind of distinct colors, but from a distance,
it blends beautifully.
It blends, and also I will say the way that this is wearing, it really lends itself to what they're describing as the distressed look, like. Some of this, you can see the white core through a little more as I've been wearing this, but it's not falling apart. It does have kind of a good stitch definition and a little bit of a distressed look to it.
Yeah.
So it's funky.
This was the other new one.
No, we've had that one since the very beginning. These are kind of new.
Oh, yeah.
I think those 2 were the only like brand spanking new colors, and then we got a butt ton of that in.
Okay. This one's Seafoam.
Seafoam's been with us from the beginning, and it's still in stock, but we only have 1 because someone bought a sweater quantity of it recently.
And I'm looking, like, it is probably the subtlest
of all
the ones I'm looking at. Mm-hmm. Like, almost hardly any difference. It's a Seafoam green.
The reason we don't have more of it in stock since we just recently sold the sweater quantities is it's back ordered. So we have 1 skein right now. It's like the sea glass in the fiber spates, kind of. It's got this light. It's not quite minty. It's like tealy minty in between all of those colors. It's really pretty. We only have 1 right now, and I believe I might have it on back order. So when it comes in, we'll get it. But that could be a really long time. We just don't know. So the other colors that we have very little of right now. This one's called Pebbles, number 3. It's no longer on the current list. I'm gonna check. It's got some nice clay grays to it. It's discontinued though. We only have one skein of it, and it's got it's like a warm gray,
almost
and it's
like
got
a beach sand,
almost taupey. There's a little bit of lighter, darker to it. It's very subtle. We only have one skein, so if you can think of something fun you could do with one skein, we have it until we sell it. The other one we have only one of is Shark, which is, they still have this as a color. We just haven't brought it in. Let me look on the other end to see if it's back ordered or not. It's in stock, but just because it's in stock doesn't mean we can magically bring it all back in. If you're interested in more of this has blues and grays in it, like kind of slate blues and a dark warm gray. It's very, very pretty. If you want more of it, contact us. We could do a pre-order. This is the Yarn of the Week is the only time we use discount codes for pre-orders, because it is in stock. We could probably get it for you if you wanted more than one, but currently we only have one in stock. If you need more than one, this guy might not match what comes in next, so contact us about that. That's a like second generation one, and I love that color. Go for it.
This one's octopus, and it's purple, a light purple and a dark purple. Like
it is like royal purple going on in this guy.
Yeah.
I think we have a decent amount of it in stock. I'm on a third window here. You can tell why my computer hates me. I'm gonna bring up what we have of everything. The octopus. We have 9 of them in stock right now. I don't know if they're all the same dye lot, but we have a lot of that lovely purple. It's back ordered with our suppliers, so if you need more, we can't pre-order that. But all of it's such a lovely palette. So the other color that I like, Deep Ocean, like that deep purple. This is deep blue, but it's got some darker and lighter blue in it. And the Deep Ocean, we've got a full 10 up. Again, I don't know if it's all the same dye lot, but we've got a lot of it. It's just super pretty. Super, super pretty. So, and because the white core shows through a little bit, yes, it has not quite a stone washed, but a little bit of a distressed look, which is kind of awesome. So.
This one is shell, and it's natural and like slight hints of this mixed with the wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but by this, it's the clay
pebbles.
one, kind of, the pebbles.
Yeah.
Shell is the off-white. It looks like they just brought in one called Chalk, which is white. We have not brought that in yet for us. So Shell is more of the natural color, which is super cute. And the Chalk's out of stock. So even if we liked the white one, we can't bring it in yet. I want to say Flip Flop's been discontinued. We have like 3 skeins of this. It's like it's not quite purple. It's kind of a raspberry with almost like a lavender to it. It's a warm, jammy purple vintage. Yes.
Yeah.
We only have, this is one of the original generations, like when this first came out. It has been discontinued. Before we got the really dark, awesome royal purple in, this was our purple. We only have about 3 of these left. So if this is your jam, scarf it up now. These are new, and these might be discontinued. So why don't we start with these?
Okay.
So the original generation, is that the Living Coral?
Living Coral.
It is. That's a beautiful salmon-y bright color. It's a little pale, but not as pale as the new ones. That has been discontinued. We have 2 skeins of it left. It really just has 2 different shades of
the
salmon-y coral,
yeah.
Right? Coral is forever a popular color, so I'm not really sure why they discontinued it. But that one's been discontinued. This one is Sandcastle, and it's like a nice medium yellow, almost goldeny, and it's been discontinued too. We have, I want to say, 3 skeins or so of this, maybe 4. Let me see if I can find where our inventory is of the Sandcastle. It says we have 5. My online system says, and back end system says we have 5. It's you can't see it from here. It's because it's covered by this when I pulled this out. I think we have at least 3. I will take a look and update the system to correctly reflect what we have of this. It's not super dark, but it's a richer color than the new yellow they have. So the new yellow, which we have, this one's called Lemonade. It's much more like lemonade with ice cubes in it and stuff. It's a more pastel yellow. And there's a little bit of light dark going on with it too. Lemonade, we've got a full 10. And they're all the same dye lot. So we've got like last year everything went to pastels. So we have a pastel part of the palette. So instead of the coral, what do we have now?
This is Seahorse, and it's a very pastel, like not orange sherbet is still too bright for
it's
color.
like it's not even a creamsicle. It's like if you took a creamsicle and mixed it all up and made it a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
so
it looks almost like the dried out seahorses you see in like gift shops.
It's a very pale orange. But it's the only orange we have in the palette right now. We've got a full 10 skeins of that too. So, but it's pale, if you like pale or pale to contrast, like I even see these kind of working really nicely together. So, all right. So, and I don't think I did Shipwreck.
Let's see. Do Shipwreck.
We have 3 of Shipwreck, and Shipwreck is really kind of cute. It's got like a light lavender and then a light, almost periwinkle blue. And it's super cute, but I want to say it's discontinued. All the good stuff is just... Wait. Shipwreck is still something we can get back in eventually. We have... Let me see. Shipwreck. We have 3 skeins of it. And it could be the reason I can't get it. Let's find out. It is in stock. If you want this color as a pre-order, you need to contact the shop. So... I was surprised. I think I get these guys, even though they look nothing alike, I get them confused sometimes because they have some purpley stuff going on in them, but this is much paler. This is like purpley blue, and this is like raspberry purple. So, but overall, from a distance, this is going to look kind of a slate blue. It's got hints of purple in it, though, so know that. If you're going to be making something for someone who doesn't really like purple, and you're like, that looks cool, up close, they could be like, purple, what? So, people are interesting sometimes, you know? Anyway, so that's our palette. I mean, it's a ton of colors, but some of those colors are about to go the way of the dodo once we no longer have them in stock. They have a few more colors that we haven't brought in, and we'll see. A bunch of them are back ordered right now, so it's a question of, like, there's a sky blue and a lavender. There's lots of colors that look fun. We honestly, like, full disclosure, we have to sometimes pick and choose and pick the palette for the shop because we only have so much space in the shop. If we got every single color of every single yarn we carry, we would need a shop twice as big. Which would be awesome, but...
Most of the palettes that we look at when we're looking for yarn have over 15 colors. And most of the time we can only bring in like 10, maybe 12.
Maybe.
And
sometimes they have twice that many.
Yeah,
and,
when you're looking at a palette of 50 colors or, you know.
On this end, 7, 14, 21.
22.
It looks like we have 22 colors in the whole palette of what's available currently. And some of these are discontinued. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count about 14 here. So we've brought in what we can. Eventually we'll replace what we can too. But again, we only have so much space. This takes up 2 bins in the shop and they're jam-packed full. So anyway, we have to go because it's actually after 10.
Oh, and here comes Jan. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.
We will be here for Dear Becky and Lizzie tomorrow. Email liz@sundragonartandfiber.com and send us your questions.